one of the hard things about teaching choir in a high school is that because it's not a subject where you've had to take your instrument and study it for many years, like a flute, you don't let a flute player who's never played the flute into band before, but you do let singers who have never sung or done music, they end up in your beginning programs. And so in the beginning, because I like to differentiate my choirs by vocal maturity, not just musical ability, but where their voice is in their stage of adolescence. And so I struggled with that because I would have kids that knew all the musical things. And then I would have brand new people that had no idea what a measure even was. And so that became problematic because the kids that knew this material already were bored out of their minds. And therefore, I would rush through it for the kids who needed more time. And so my first venture into blended learning was actually using a very well-known tool called musictheory.net. And so this particular one has lessons that students can choose to read if they need more help. And then I, as a teacher, can use exercises that are already done. One of the most common things that students do at the beginning is note identification. And so I can set up a challenge for them and they have to go through and determine what those notes are. Oh, this was for my AP music class. And so this also includes the alto clef. And so the alto clef, this would be a B. So that was one of the things that we would use to get things started. And so we could set up our exercises so it only did treble clef or only did bass clef. And so the students that could do it, I would say, I need you to get 40 of these correct in a row. And once you do that, then they just have to either copy it and send it to me on paper because they've printed it out from their computer, or they could get a code and therefore email the code to me and I could look up their score. And so once they got the 40, they were done with that assignment and I never had to worry about note names again. And so that was my first kind of blended learning. It was very popular about a decade ago when this got started. And so all of us in the district found that we were using this, although it didn't help as much as it needed to for the students that really were at the basics and bottom. How many of them are self-motivated enough to go into the lessons and read and study? And yes, there are always those who are, but then there are those who are not. And so I ended up taking those things and I would say, you know what, if you can't get 40 in a row, that's okay. Send what you can do. And then I would arrange to work separately outside of class with the students that needed that extra love and attention in order to understand the basic music concepts. And then during class, I spent more time with teaching them about the voice and how it works and why at this age you sound like this and tricks and not tricks, techniques in order to improve. And so that helped my classes to improve vocally, but it also helped the students that needed extra help with notes get the help that they needed without having the people that already knew all that stuff be bored out of their minds. And so that was my first step in trying to do blended learning.